Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 19 insane changes you forgot about coming in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. But first, we are doing a Wrath of the Lich King beta key giveaway soon. So if you want to be entered for a chance to win, make sure you like this video and you are subscribed to the channel for when we start giving them away to subscribers only. All right, let's get started. The first insane change coming in Wrath is that you cannot fail gathering herbs or mining. And finally, ore nodes give all their contents from mining just once, instead of taking potentially multiple attempts. I remember those thorium veins, man. You'd be pounding those at least 5-6 times. The rich ones, rich thorium veins, dude, you would be mining forever, which is it's all right. It's kind of fun, but it takes up your time. Now this is an excellent improvement which will make mining much more efficient and leveling up your gathering professions quicker and much less frustrating now that you can't fail. You know, you ever try picking a peace bloom like 4 times and you're like, how hard can it be to pick a flower, man, right? Well, now you can level your professions much faster without failing to pick a flower. Now, number 2, moving on to number 2, we got riding changes. In Wrath, you only need to be level 20 to learn how to get your 60% move speed mount. This is awesome. And not only that, but the cost is significantly lower at a mere 4 gold. Also, epic mounts are going to be available at level 40 for a fraction of the previous cost, now being sold for a mere 47 gold. Now this is incredible. This is just opening up, you know, mounts for everyone. Back in the day, like only certain classes got some good abilities at level 20, like Aspect of the Cheetah, Ghost Wolf. If you were a druid, you could get that cat feral swiftness, you know, and you'd move around a little bit faster. But now everyone has the opportunity to get that 60% move speed mount at level 20 right away. Very, very awesome addition, speeding up your leveling experience. All right, number 3, this one's insane. I didn't even know about this. There is a free 150% flying mount available for everyone at level 77 or above. You just go to Storm Peaks and you can loan a mount, and you can use this mount in Storm Peaks and Ice Crown. Now this is amazing because if you don't have enough gold for cold weather flying and an epic mount, this is a sweet upgrade, and not many people know about this. 150% flying mount is pretty nice, and especially because it's free. So check out this vendor over there in Storm Peaks, and he is going to hook you up with that mount for free. All right, number 4 insane change coming in Wrath of the Lich King. Riding skill at 280%, also known as epic flying, will be reduced to 4k gold in Wrath with exalted reputation, depending on where you purchase epic flying from. But this is a great incentive to go out, get your reputations, whether that's Honor Hold or Thrallmar. Go out, get those reputations up to exalted to get that 1,000 gold discount. So if you're thinking about buying an epic mount, maybe you should wait until Wrath comes out, get it for that discounted price, and that's going to be very much worth it in Wrath. So very, very awesome new addition to save you some gold. All right, number 5, we got Wrath introducing the first ever vendor mount known as the Traveler's Mammoth for 20,000 gold. This is a beast because the vendors supply you with consumables and a vendor which can repair, which is super handy. There's a reason it's 20,000 gold. I mean, this is insane, being able to have repairs on demand, being able to vendor stuff. And by the way, like Leatrix has an awesome add-on that instantly sells all your gray items. Oh my gosh, game changer add-on. You just right click the vendor. I love going there. It'll sell all your grays. It'll repair your stuff. Best add-on ever. I love it so much. Makes leveling so much fun. So Traveler's Mammoth with Leatrix equals like you're just on a grinding fest, and then you just instantly be able to sell stuff, repair. It's amazing. So Traveler's Mammoth, totally worth it if you got an extra 20k just sitting around. All right, number 6, raid-wide buffs. This is insane coming into Wrath of the Lich King. No more having to buff each group individually. No longer do you need to create groups based on party buffs. For example, you know, you wanted a shaman in the melee group for Wind Fury Totem, right? Well, now Wind Fury Totem will apply its bonus raid-wide in Wrath, but it's just melee haste now, of course. I don't know if you knew that, but it is nerfed. This is a pretty insane change, honestly, because now you don't really have to worry about organizing your raid groups. You know, oh, I need the Affliction Warlock for the Blood Pact. Oh, I need the Shadow Priest for, you know, the finger pointing ability. You know what I'm talking about, the one that gives you mana back. Vampiric Embrace. Boom, got it. Next, number 7. 7, Enchanting Vellums. This is a huge change coming to Wrath. Enchanters rejoice because now you can enchant an enchanting vellum, which basically captures your enchant onto a scroll, which anyone can then use to enchant their gear. So you can just be enchanting these vellums, throwing them up on the auction house, and then just bringing in the cash passively instead of spamming trade chat. Hey, I got every enchant in the game, you know, whatever you need, you know, hook me up, so-and-so's enchants, you know, whatever. Now you don't have to spam. You don't have to open trade windows anymore to utilize your profession. You can finally just enchant vellums and your life is made so much easier in Wrath. All right, number 8, we got the improved quest map system. Now, back in the day, this was pretty useful before Questy and Quest Helper, which basically were add-ons that made this kind of irrelevant. Before those add-ons, the improved quest map introduced in Wrath, you know, really helped because before it, you had to read quests for ideas on where to go to find stuff. If you really couldn't find it, you'd have to look up the quests on like Thoughtbot or, you know, later Wowhead. And if you still couldn't find it, you could also ask around. You know, I don't know if anyone remembers. Remember, everyone's like, anyone know where Mancrick's wife is? Dude, I love Baron's chat. I don't know. Put something in the comment if you remember everyone asking, where's Mancrick's wife? It's hilarious how many people ask that. All right, moving on to number 9, Summoning Stones. Level 15 required to use it, but other than that, there are no level range requirements. Now, TBC introduced Summoning Stones, which allowed you to quickly summon your group without a warlock. This was very, very helpful, but they also had level range restrictions. So depending on the dungeon, you had to fall within the level range. If you were even 1 level too high or too low, your group could not summon you, and you couldn't start a summon using that dungeon summoning stone. These level range requirements, it was kind of hard to know what they were without the help of an add-on. So Blizzard, in their infinite genius, decided to remove these level range requirements, and in Wrath, you just have to be level 15. Now, it's very interesting because level 15 is actually also the minimum level required to use RDF, also known as Random Dungeon Finder. So, you know, now that we aren't going to have RDF, this leveling stone minimum requirement of 15 is good to know, or that the ranges are removed, because we're probably going to be start using summoning stones a whole lot more now again in Wrath because of the absence of RDF. So good to know that these level ranges are removed in Wrath. Okay, moving on to number 10, Reputation Tabards. These are kind of cool. I kind of like them. Basically, you purchase these from a reputation quartermaster of a given faction once you reach friendly, and then farming reputation for that faction then becomes as easy as equipping the tabard of the reputation you want to grind, and then spamming RDF, which we won't be able to do anymore. But basically, any level 80, any max level dungeon will give you reputation for the reputation of the tabard you are wearing. So you still are going to have to spam dungeons. It's just you're not going to have RDF to make that very easy, but it's a cool way to farm reputation. It really encourages people to group up and spam dungeons, and I honestly kind of like it. But also, you finally have a reason to wear tabards other than just aesthetic reasons or the way you look, basically, right? All right, moving on to number 11. This is probably one of my favorite new additions coming to Wrath of Lich King Classic, and this is the currency tab. There are a ton of new currencies in Wrath. You've got the jewel crafting tokens, the cooking tokens. You've got 4 different types of emblems to collect. There's a new battleground in Wrath called Strand of the Ancients, which has its own new mark of honor. So you've got so many different marks of honor. You've got so many currencies that can clutter up your inventory, but in Wrath they introduced this incredible new currency tab which lists out all of your currencies and amounts all in one place, which is going to free up your bag space, and it's also very convenient to look at and just know where you stand. So very, very cool addition. Number 12, we have the pets tab for mounts and non-combat pets. Now, instead of keeping pets and mounts as items in your inventory, very similar to currencies, they're now added to a pets tab. Once you right click it, you learn how to summon it, it disappears from your inventory and is then added to this pets tab where you can just right click it to summon, whether that's a pet or a mount. So this is awesome. Very great for collectors to kind of just see everything all in one place. I love the pets tab. All right, moving on to number 13, we have training dummies. These have been added to all major cities, allowing you to practice your rotation. They have different toughness levels for practice against boss-like mobs, weaker mobs. It's a really great addition, but it is worth noting that they do not increase your weapon skill. To do that, you're going to probably want to go to the Blasted Lands, swing at the Immortal Servants. They can't die, so you can level up your weapon skill pretty fast, depending on if you're like a paladin, you don't have too many abilities, but you know, warriors can just like spam hamstring, whatever. So training dummies, very cool, but they do not level your weapon skill. All right, moving on to number 14, we have profession linking. Finally, you can let everyone know what you are able to make quickly and easily by giving a clickable link that brings anyone who clicks it to your profession and sees everything you would see as if you opened it. So it's a great quality of life change for everyone, especially those who are trying to, you know, let everyone know about their profession, what they're offering, and they're trying to make some gold with their profession, like, you know, whatever, enchanters, or alchemists, whatever. So profession linking, very cool new addition. However, the raid browser, in my opinion, is an incredible new addition. This new tool in Wrath lets you list yourself and find other people looking for raids. Now, it's not quite Raid Finder, but it's similar to the TBC Group Finder, which just lists you and you need to take it from there. Now, the reason I like the raid browser is because sometimes you don't want to, well, this was before the bulletin board add-on. I mean, honestly, I would use the bulletin board add-on way before I'd use the raid browser, just being honest. But back in the day, it was kind of cool to see people forming raids, and you could be like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to see if I can get in this raid or something, right? So raid browser is cool. It's a little outdated in my opinion. Probably the bulletin board add-on is going to be used instead of this, but it's a new addition coming in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. There's also the in-game calendar, which is a great addition also for signing up for raids. Again, probably gonna be outdated at this point, but you can also view events like the Kalawak Fishing Derby, which is new in Wrath, or the Stranglethorn Fishing Extravaganza happening on Saturday and Sunday respectively. It'll list that in your calendar, and you can also see when events like Dark Moon Fair are happening, which will be very important in Wrath. There's some great Dark Moon cards available, and you'll also want to be able to see different events like maybe the Feast of Winter Veil, Hollow's End. All that will be listed in the calendar, so it's very cool to be able to pop up there. Also, you know, if you're a no-life like me, like, oh, what day is it today? You know, like, oh, I totally lost track of time. Oh my gosh, I've been playing too much WoW. And then number 17, we have heirloom gear, arguably one of the biggest changes of all time. This is gear that gets better as you level and grants increased experience from quests and mobs. It's a game changer. It encourages making you to make alternate characters. It completely changes your leveling experience because you're not going to be replacing this gear until you're max level. You throw on that heirloom gear, that stuff's not coming off your character until you're max level, unless for some reason you're like, oh, I'm going to give this to a different alt while I level. But it's that good. It's just, you know, it's going to change your experience, and for better or for worse, you know, I think there's pros and cons to it. Personally, I feel like the con is like part of the leveling experience for me is like, I like replacing my gear, and heirloom gear takes that away. So, but you also level faster. So it's a pro con. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is coming in Wrath, the heirloom gear. All right, number 18, another huge change is that down-ranking spells was removed. All spells will cost the same amount of mana in Wrath, regardless of the rank being cast, but this actually only happens once you reach max level. So you can still downrank while you are leveling. So keep that in mind. It's only once you're max level. All right. And number 19, the final new thing coming to Wrath, is Halting Experience gains. Used to keep your Twink character from leveling past 19 so that you don't get locked out of the battleground group. You're designed to dominate. For example, you know, the 19 bracket ends at 19, right? So you don't want to level. You can go to Best in Stormwind or slots in Orgrimmar if you get it Best in slots to halt your experience gains. Now, this is all very interesting, but if you haven't decided on what character to play yet, click the video above my head, and that will give you my comprehensive class picking guide for you to help you decide, and I will see you there. Take care.